Foremost, some say call hello Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it. So today we're gonna give me James chapter 1 verse 26. We're gonna jump into it because we focus so much on prophecy and breakdowns. A lot of groups forget about the integrity that we have to hold in this truth. And one of those things we got to hold is being able to rule our tongue. So if we can't rule our tongue, everything we work for in this truth, all the breakdowns, all the wisdom and knowledge you have is worthless. Go ahead and get that.
Con. This is James chapter 2.
One verse
Was it?
26. My bad.
So
My bad.
James chapter 1 and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
It says, if any man among you seem to be religious
Mhm.
and bridleth not his tongue,
Yeah.
but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain.
Read again.
If any man among you seem to be religious
Mhm.
and bridleth not his tongue,
And bridleth not his tongue, or hold your tongue, or be able to rule your tongue to a degree. Go ahead.
bridleth not his tongue,
Mhm.
but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain.
Is what?
Is vain.
It's vain. It's vanity. So if we can't control our own what we say, if we can't control what we say and how we talk to each other, everything we're doing is vain. Because really, it's going to result in things that's transgression of the law, things contrary to the word. You doing all this talking and babbling and then being an asshole. everything you're working for is vain. Because you can't even rule your own body. You can't even rule your flesh and stay in the spirit. Is really what it's trying to teach you. If you can't stay in the spirit and rule what you say and not be a perpetual offender, you're whatever you believe in, the truth is going to be vain. Keep going.
Kind.
There's more.
It says, pure religion and
Mhm.
undefiled before God and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction,
Mhm.
and to keep himself unspotted from the world.
On what?
Unspotted from the world.
Unspotted from the world. Because everything we brought up, everything we've learned in this world and been brought up in is wickedness. Like it got to a point. Even today, I was telling my friends about a show. They ain't even my friends, my coworkers at my job about this show. And like I said, bro, like the show it started off kind of all right, but they just had a whole bunch of gay stuff. And they just said, well, I mean, everything's gay. Everything has gay stuff in it. You got to just get down with it. I'm like, why I got to get down with it, bro? Why is that always a perpetual excuse? Like, oh, everything's gay, so I got to go ahead and be down with homosexuality, man. Next thing you know, your kids out back doing some gay stuff, bro. And now you got to be okay with it because the world said it. You're spotted by the world. That's being spotted by the world, bro. But that's going back into reference of what he said before. Read 26 again.
Verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious,
Yeah,
and bridleth not his tongue,
yeah,
but deceiveth his own heart,
but deceive his own heart because he can't bridle his own tongue. He can't rule over his mouth. Go ahead.
this man's religion is vain.
Is what?
Is vain.
It's vain. So everything we were brought up in this world is vanity, bro. Everything we've been taught, all the shenanigans that the world try to get you to be on is vanity. So if you continue to be perpetuating that same stuff and talking about it, let it just slide out of your mouth like it's nothing. Everything you believe in is vanity because you're a hypocrite. You even look like a hypocrite when you say that. So what? Like, say if I'm everybody knows I'm an Israelite, right? Everybody knows I'm an Israelite, and then I go around talking about how I took another man's wife or something like that, or just talking about or just throwing it around like it's cool. I'm gonna look like a hypocrite. I'm gonna stand on the corner and tell people to keep the commandments, but I'm telling people I'm casually talking with somebody saying that oh I was gonna take that girl. I'm just gonna take that girl from him and doing all stuff like that. That's hypocrisy. You're literally living in hypocrisy. You're deceiving your own heart to actually think you're in the truth if you're doing that. That's why I forgot who said it, where it says I forgot, I think it's in James where it talks about can a fountain spit out. You know what it is?
Right here in James 3.
Yeah, go ahead and get that.
It says in James chapter 3 and verse 12.
Yeah.
Well, verse 11, it says, doth the fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter?
Mm-hmm. Sweet water and bitter. That's about fresh water and salt water. Go ahead.
Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries, either a vine figs?
Yeah.
So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh.
Because a perfect example that you can't mix. If you mix salt water and fresh water, you're gonna get salt water. Go ahead.
Fine. It says, who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you?
Mm-hmm.
Let him shoot out of a good conversation.
Out of good what?
Conversation.
Good conversation. This goes all the way back to what I said before. We gotta keep our conversation honest amongst the Gentiles. Matter of fact, give me that in First Peter's. Okay. You know what I'm talking about? Give me that in First Peter's. That's First Peter 4.
Yeah.
Go, keep going.
His works with meekness of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have bitter envying and strife in your hearts,
Mm-hmm.
glory not and lie not against the truth.
Bitter envyings and strife in your heart. What is that? Works of the give me that in Galatians real fast about works. It's a whole what you got, but give me Galatians where it talks about the works of the flesh. It said bitter envyings and strifes.
I got this is Galatians.
So what works of the flesh?
Chapter 5. It says this. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife.
So what?
Strife.
It's basically naming the same stuff you just saw right there before. Go ahead.
Seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
They shall what?
Not inherit the kingdom of God.
If you do those things, operating in the flesh or having the conversation of the flesh, you're not going to get into the kingdom. You're not going to get. You're going to be a part of that second death, really, because we know all Israel is going to be saved ultimately, but you're not going to take part in that first resurrection, that first salvation of Israel. So going back to the conversation, go back to that what we had in James. Go ahead.
James 3, and this is verse 14. Or you wanted the thing about the conversation?
No, wherever you was at, where you just left off in James.
Okay. James 3 and 13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him shew out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom.
Good works of meekness and wisdom. Keep going.
But if you have bitter envying and strife,
which comes out of the works of the fruit of the flesh, go ahead.
In your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth.
Why not against the truth? Because that's not what we're supposed to. We're supposed to be operating in the spirit. It even says the spirit is contrary. The flesh is contrary to the spirit. So if your flesh, if we know the people who commit the works of the flesh aren't going to enter into the kingdom, that's what it's going back to in James the first chapter, verse 27. Read that again.
James 1 and 27. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless.
Oh, no, 26, my bad, 26.
Verse 26. If any man among you seem to be religious and bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain.
It's vain. It's vanity, because you're operating. What did Christ say? Out of the heart. You got that?
I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew 12 and 36. He says, but I say unto you that every idle word that men...
No, not that one. Give me out of the heart. Out of the heart. I want specifically that one. We're coming back to that.
This is Matthew 15. And this is verse 16. And Jesus said, are ye also yet without understanding? Not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly and is cast out into the draught. But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart.
Come from the what?
From the heart.
From your heart, from your mind. The things the things that's guiding you in the earth. So if you're speaking out things, if you're speaking out and having conversation of wicked things perpetually, you're probably a wicked nigga behind closed doors. Right. That's why I say if you can't bridle your tongue and not be spotted by the world. I mean, if you're spotted by the world, your religion is vain. Your belief is vain. What you call the truth is vain. It's vanity, because those who are operating in the flesh are going to be destroyed. You are not going to inherit the kingdom.
Go ahead. Ecclesiastes 5. It says that a fool is known in his multitude of speech.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So go back to James chapter 3. I think that.
You want me to finish?
No, keep going. Actually,
it says, and they defile the man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man. But to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man.
He defileth not a man, because we were talking about specifically about the Pharisees and the scribes or whatever getting on the disciples for not washing their hands. It didn't say you can eat pork. It didn't say you can eat pork. It's talking about eating with unwashed hands. That's what the context we're talking about right there. Go ahead and get James chapter 3, verse 4.
James 3 and 4. Behold, also the ships, which though they be so great and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small hem.
Give me Proverbs 15 and 28. Go ahead.
Whithersoever the governor listeth, even so the tongue is a little member.
It's a little member, just like if your tongue contrasts your body parts, as in like your hands and your arms, your legs. Your tongue is a real small member. Go ahead.
And boasteth great things.
Yeah, keep going.
Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
A great amount of what?
A little fire kindleth.
So a tongue, like your tongue, like your speech, right? Like your speech can cause so much issues in the world. Your speech can cause so much issue just in between brethren. Like you could say something that'll piss somebody off to the point to it'll kill you, bro. You can piss somebody off to the point to where you can get somebody killed in the house or start a fight or start strife. Keep going.
And the tongue is a fire.
Yeah.
A world of iniquity.
It's a what?
A world of iniquity.
A world of iniquity, because the tongue, your what you speak and your conversations you have can cause so many issues. It can start up strife between households, start up strife between brethren, people. Like even if we're on the streets, right? We could say something to somebody who will make us want to fight them when we're really trying to win souls in the first place. We have to watch what we say. We have to be better at this. Like because the thing about it is, because matter of fact, keep going. It's gonna say what I'm gonna say in a minute.
So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body.
It does what?
Defileth the whole body.
It defileth the whole body. And we're gonna prove what it's talking about right there, defiling the whole body, because Yahweh says, matter of fact, we're gonna get it later. Keep going.
And setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. For every kind of beast and of birds and of serpents and of things in the sea.
What verse you at?
Verse 7.
Keep going.
Is tamed.
And wait, read that part again. Every beast.
For every kind of beast and of birds and of serpents and of things in the sea is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind.
So all animals at some point has been tamed or can be tamed. Go ahead.
But the tongue can no man tame.
The tongue can what?
No man tame.
So no matter what you do, no matter how perfect you are in this walk, you're gonna offend somebody in your speech.
That sounds all right.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you're gonna offend somebody in your speech at some point. But what we have to do is try to rein that in. We don't need to be a perpetual offender in speech, is what we're talking about here.
Yeah, here it is.
Go ahead, get it.
This is Sirach 19 and 16. There's one that slippeth in his speech.
Yeah. But
not from his heart.
But not from his heart. Because we don't really intend to offend somebody specifically. But what ends up happening is that's how it's interpreted with certain people. There's nothing you can do in your life that you won't offend somebody in speech specifically. So what we need to do is try our best not to do that. When we operate in the spirit, there's a lesser chance for that to happen. So when we operate in the flesh, that's what's going to rile people up. That's going to cause strife between brethren and households. You got a precept?
Yeah, there's more.
Wait, keep going.
It says, and who is he that hath not offended with his tongue?
Yeah, say it again.
And who is he that hath not offended with his tongue?
Like I said before, no matter what you do in your life, you're going to offend somebody in speech at some point. So we have to do our best to try to rein that in and not be a perpetual line stepper, like Asad said. We can't be perpetual line steppers. We all know that people. We all know that person, bro. Some people are always perpetual line steppers. But go ahead, get your precept.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and 32. If thou hast done foolishly in lifting up thyself, or if thou hast thought evil, lay thy hand upon thy mouth. Surely the churning of milk bringeth forth butter, and the wringing of the nose bringeth forth blood. So the forcing of wrath bringeth forth strife.
For what?
Bringeth forth strife.
Bring forth strife. Like there's so many situations, even dealing with people in this truth, that things they'll just go left off somebody said carelessly. Get what I told you to get in Proverbs real fast. Because we have to really study, we have to think, like what I'm telling you to get is matter of fact, go ahead and get it.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs. I'm gonna start at chapter 15, verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
It does what?
Stir up anger.
It stirs up anger. Grievous words stirs up anger. Just like when somebody's trying to rebuke you, like you don't want to hear, you don't want somebody to just sit there and just basically just throw stones and beat your ass up for no reason, bro. For no reason, and make no attempt to try to build you back up. So you have some people who do that to you. And that's just grievous. That just makes somebody mad. It's like, dang, man, the world's already beating me up. The so-called white man's beating me up. My job's beating me up. My wife's beating me up. Everybody's leaving me here. Now here you go.
That is true.
That's why we got to restore each. Give me that in Galatians real fast. Galatians 6:1. That's why when somebody goes off, you got to restore them in meekness. In meekness, bro. And that doesn't mean just like be kind. Don't be like not kind, not the word I'm using. Like how Christians, oh yeah, that's going on. But I mean, hey, come as ye are. We're all sinners. Not like that, but just don't be. Some people just take it and just gotta be somebody's gotta be the dad giving somebody a whooping all the time, bro. It don't always have to be like that.
But like Paul said, like he was like a father to them, you know, like how he said he was like he would correct them. You know, it's like when you correct a child, sometimes like it ain't all the time. It's like it's just the ass whooping. It's like, hey, you shouldn't do this no more because when you do this, this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right. So if you don't want this to happen, just don't do this.
Just don't do it. You know? Go ahead and get that.
Right. This Galatians 6:1. Galatians 6:1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, you which are spiritual.
These are what?
Spiritual.
Spiritual. Go ahead.
Restore such an one in the spirit of meekness.
In the spirit of what?
In the spirit of meekness.
The spirit of meekness, just like how Yawasab said. You don't have to just jump straight to an ass whooping. Sometimes you can just talk to people, man. Hey, look, that's going off according to this. But look, this is what we can do to make it better. This is how we do things.
And that's how the Most High was with us. You know, he would send
with the
prophets and judges and prophets to us to tell us, to give us a warning to turn back before he literally just laid down the belt. You know, the same way.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 28:17. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh bones.
It does what?
Breaketh the bones.
It breaketh bones, man. Cause somebody could break you down, bro, with words. People say words don't hurt you, but words really do hurt people, man.
That's why.
Like, and it will hold it real fast. It could make people want to leave your group. It can make people want to leave you just in general. Don't want to deal with you anymore. When you could have when they could have been wrong, but you took it into a way to where now you to compound the issue. When you could just say something. We're all supposed to be Israelites in the truth. We're all supposed to be living by the law, statutes, commandments. Show somebody that if they're going off, hey, pull them to the side, like how Matthew 18:18 says, pull them to the side. You got to argue with your brother. Deal with that odd. This is how you're wrong. According to this is what we can do to fix it. Let me get back on point real fast. Give me Proverbs 15:28 real fast.
Proverbs 15:28.
Yeah, this is why we can't just jump to beating people up, bro. We have to think about what we say before we say it. Matter of fact, doesn't Paul say you gotta hold every thought captivity to Yahushua? Yeah, it's in Corinthians, but it's just like we can't just immediately jump. We can't just immediately jump to just beating somebody down, bro. Like we have to actually restore somebody in meekness, and with that in mind, you have to think about what you're gonna say. Like how am I gonna do this before I do it? Don't just act in anger. Just like how Paul said, "Be angry and sin not." People out here just offending the hell out of little ones. People out here just beating people down, and like I've heard of some stuff that's happening in certain congregations. I'm just like, dang, bro. It's like, dang, bro. God. But the thing about it is, give me this precept real fast.
All right, this second
Corinthians. Not that one. Hold up. We come back to it. I know you want it. I know you want to get it.
All right, this Proverbs 15:28.
Yeah. The
heart of the righteous studieth to answer.
Do what?
Studieth to answer.
Studieth to answer. What is studying to answer means? You think about that stuff before you do it. Don't just act out in anger and just be wrath with your mouth. Like that. I mean, that's something that everybody has to work on, bro. That's not even a like you gonna get this and you just good for the rest of your life. Everybody has to go through this. Somebody's gonna do is gonna make you mad, and you can't just immediately blow up, bro. Because the fruits of the spirit talk about temperance. It talks about long suffering. We have to be able to think about what we're gonna say when we do it. Like we can't just fly off the handle, bro. That's not operating in the spirit. Keep going.
But the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things.
It does what?
Poureth out evil things.
It pours out evil things. Now, if you have a
chalice.
Like, you know what?
A chalice.
What's jealous?
Like a cistern.
or a sister. Why you say sister? No, it was a jealous.
Learn something new every day.
Country, country way. A sister, it pours out. It just goes out fast. Like you just pour it out quickly, right? It's the same thing of how people operate in anger and in malice. Just because somebody does something, you can't just immediately just shoot off the handle, bro. You can't just shoot off the handle. You have to study up to answer. Think about it. Think about how you're going to answer something. Think about how you're going to deal with a certain thing. You got a precept? Go ahead and get your precept.
All right. I got this 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 3. Mm-hmm. Giving no offense in anything that the ministry be not blamed.
Maybe the what?
Giving no offense in anything that the ministry be not blamed.
That the ministry be not blamed. That's also showing good integrity in front of. Give me that in front of the good conversation in front of the Gentiles. Matthew, that. I got it. But get the conversation around the Gentiles.
This is 1 Peter 2:12. He says, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles.
What?
Honest among the Gentiles.
Honest among the Gentiles. So you have a lot of Israelites. I'll give you a perfect example. Even on Facebook. Well, they're calling on Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, got posted scriptures. But then right after you see that, you see them smoking weed, being a nigga, got Cardi B talking about how they want to get with Cardi B and stuff like that. Probably calling on Yahweh sometimes. Just you just see all that just looking like dang, that's the Israelites? That's what it's like to be an Israelite? I'm already doing that, being a nigga already, bro. And it's just like you making us look bad, bro. Some of us just make us look bad. You even had Israelites. I forgot. Remember that long time they made that song about Chief and like General Yohana and Nate talking about they want to kill all of us. Dude making drill music about killing other Israelites. And let vocab get a hold of that. See, that's what y'all say. Y'all trying to love each other. This guy's trying to kill y'all.
I got something for that.
That's madness, bro. Wait, hold on. There's more in there, right?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, there's more.
Yeah.
It says, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles.
Yeah.
That whereas they speak against you as evildoers.
Yeah.
They may, by your good works, which they shall behold, glorify Yahweh in the day of visitation.
So we show forth ourselves to look like we look like how we say we're supposed to act. If we actually look like that, we look like we're trying to build our nation. We look like we're gonna we love each other and actually love each other, like it says, not be hypocrites. Like our people will be like, okay, well, hey, I guess there is something to being an Israelite. Like they're loving each other, they're dealing with each other, and doing all that. But if we ever just being niggas, everybody gonna think we're evildoers, just like how they are, bro. Just like everybody else. Hold on, let me get it real fast.
Yeah, pertaining to what you said beforehand about how certain Nakim, they be making songs about, doing evil things to their brothers.
Mm-hmm.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 21. It says, also take no heed unto all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. For oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise hast cursed others.
Ooh. Exactly, bro. Matter of fact, ain't that what James? That's James. That's going with James 1, right? Where it talks about so do. Let me see. That's James 2.
That's cold.
And you gotta have that like the reason I brought that out is because like you gotta have that understanding. So like when you go and when you're dealing with other jakes, to like even because they'll be scoffing at you. You know what I'm saying? You'll get the other side of that pretty much that correction where the other person is the one that doesn't know how to bridle their tongue, and they'll be a scoffer and they'll be trying to fight, and you got to be like, look, man, I done been in that same position before. So you got to deal with them knowing that you know better in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Because you was once a scoffer. All of us, we didn't just jump headlong into this, bro. At some point, you was a scoffer. You was trying to deal with this. You was trying to be converse to this. I mean, adverse to this, not converse. Adverse to this. What you gonna say?
I got a precept. Colossians 4, and I'm starting verse 4. That I may make it manifest as I ought to speak, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man.
And that's going into two things, right? We got to show grace to that goes with the precept I got right now. You gotta, because you was once one of those people over there, bro. You was once a nigga not knowing nothing, and you can't just immediately cast your people off because of that. Just because the Most High God show mercy on you, you got to show mercy on others. That's why Yahweh Shai put that in the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, people who transgress against us. Because how can we ask for the Most High God to forgive us for our sins if we can't forgive our own brother? So if we see them going off and not knowing nothing, you have to try to have some kind of meekness towards your brother and try to wake him up. But if you don't wake up, somebody got to be the 2/3. But you can't just immediately. You can't. I'm just saying, you can't just immediately just jump to, oh, that's the 2/3, nigga, man. Let me just yell at you. That's not how it works, bro. Because somebody had to show meekness to you to wake you up into this truth. So let me get this real fast. This is James 2:12. It says, "So speak ye, and so do, as they that shall be judged by the law of liberty." This is going into grace. "For he shall have judgment without mercy that have shown no mercy, and mercy rejoices against judgment." So if you're not showing mercy towards your brother, you're not going to get mercy from the Most High. That's the same thing Yahushua said in Matthew 6, at various points in the Gospels, bro. Really, in the Old Testament, really said what they call the Old Testament says the same thing too. So it's like you can't just hate your brother. You can't just not specifically hate. You can't just not show the mercy to your brother and expect mercy from the Most High.
Because I was gonna say that's going into loving thy neighbor as thyself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're not gonna show your brothers and your fellow Israelites, period, the same mercy that the Most High is showing you while you were being wicked, while they're being wicked, how do you expect? You know what I'm saying? Like you're actually breaking that law.
Exactly. And that, give me Matthew 12 real fast. Matthew 12 and 36. Hold it real fast. Because it all comes back to your speech again. Because where does it start? Where does the whole altercation start? With what you're saying, with a conversation, with a dialogue. And it depends, and the way it's gonna go depends on how you deal with things, how you talk to your brother, how you get your point across. That's why I talked about he who wins souls is wise. Because you got to have some kind of wisdom, because our people are already going to be crazy as it is. You got to come with some subtlety and some kind of wisdom to win souls. You can't just immediately just jump to just yelling at them, bro. Because our people don't respond. Obviously, our people don't respond to that, bro, at all. So give me that in Matthew.
It's Matthew 12 and 36. "But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment."
So what?
Give an account thereof in the day of judgment.
You don't give account for this, for every idle word you speak. So every time you have people out here calling people like terrible names, bro. Terrible names. Just willy-nilly. And just saying and telling people like, oh, you're blaspheming the Holy Ghost when you for stuff that damn well isn't blaspheming the Holy Ghost. We'll say that to people like willy-nilly, bro. And Yahushua said every measure you meet towards somebody should be met towards you. Every time. And matter of fact, in the law, statutes, and commandments, if you accuse somebody of something and bear false witness, your judgment is the judgment for somebody who supposedly broke that law. So why are you willy-nilly doing this? The Most High God is recording all this. To think you got it.
No, I mean what you're talking about. Pertaining to what he brought out as well.
Okay, hold on. The Most High God sees you, bro. I say this so many times with people will say stuff to people and just don't even care. Like they just let it just slide out of their mouth like they didn't just say that. Like we're supposed to just speed past it. We remember last year we was at the state fair and we had a dude who was dealing with said King David was a rapist, bro. And like I know y'all remember that because it's on the channel still. He said King David was a rapist. So, like, that's not in there, bro. That's not in there. And you're just gonna just say that? Like, people are just gonna just accuse people of damnable things, bro, and just say it out of their mouth like nothing's wrong.
They're not afraid to speak evil of dignity.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. So every idle word you say, the Most High God is recording that, and you have to give account for it. Go ahead.
Okay, Matthew 7 and verse 2.
Keep going to 37.
Verse 37. "For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned."
By the words you should be justified, and by the words should be what?
Condemned.
Condemned means damned. The judgment is going to come upon you. That's what condemned is going into. I believe the Greek word is crisis right there. I believe so. I got to check it. But that word is even synonymous with that. That condemnation, that judgment comes with through your words. If you act like a nigga and just say things, let stuff slide out of your mouth like you did, like just slide, bro. People letting stuff slide out of their mouth like it's butter, bro. Like just like they'll say it right in front. We had a dude. Remember that one drunk Jake came up to camp, say he said he'll smash a dude right in front of you, right in front of us. He said that, bro, and I'm just like, why are you saying things like why would you say that? Like I feel like even when I'm at camp, I hear the most craziest things. Ever since I start teaching the Bible on the streets, doing the actual work going on the streets. Ever since I start going, and if the shoe fits, wear it. But as soon as I start going on the streets, I start hearing the most damnable things I've ever heard in my entire life, bro. Because this sword actually divides people's intentions, bro. Like it says in Hebrews, this Bible actually brings out the demon in people, bro.
They do.
You can see it, and you can see what they'll actually say to you, bro. Our people is wicked as hell, man. Get your precept.
Kind of pertaining to every idle word shall be you have to be taken account of.
Yeah.
This is Romans 14:12. So then every one of us shall give account of himself to God.
Mm-hmm.
Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty much going into that. Like we shouldn't pretty much, we gotta watch what we say, so we don't put a stumbling block in our brother's way. Mm-hmm. Knowing that we all gotta come and be judged, before the judgment seat.
For what you say, bro.
Mm-hmm.
For what you say.
Yeah.
What you say shall justify you, and what you say shall condemn you.
Mm-hmm.
Your words have our words have power, bro. They have the power to kill you. Matter of fact, now give me Proverbs. Give me Proverbs. You give me Proverbs 18 and 21. You stay where you're at Matthew real fast. Not that one. Give me Matthew 12 again. Then 36. It's either gonna justify you or it's either gonna kill you. There's no in between, man. Give me that in Proverbs first, and go to Matthew.
It's Proverbs 18 and 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
The what?
In the power of the tongue.
Death and life is in the power of the tongue. Read what Yahushua said right there in 37.
This is book of Matthew 12 and 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified.
Yeah.
And by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
It's saying the same thing Proverbs is saying. Through your words, it's either going to justify you or it's going to kill you. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. It's the same thing, bro. Yahushua really is echoing the Old Testament, bro, the whole time. He's literally saying the same thing. So the thing is, what you say shall condemn you. What you say shall justify you. If you want to just be a wicked nigga and just run off the mouth, you're gonna get put to death. If you actually believe in the Lord and want to be saved, you'll watch what you say. Because if you can't bridle your tongue, or if you can't rein in what you say and put it through a filter before you say it, your religion is vain, like it says in James chapter 1. Going all the way back, all the way full circle. Give me Sirach 32 real fast. You got a precept?
Yeah, I had two.
I got
Hold on. Give me Sirach 32. You give me your precept. You give me Sirach 32.
All right. So, first I'm going to go Matthew chapter 7, verse 2, going back of how you were saying, however you judge people, you're going to be judged like that. Matthew 7 and 2, for with what judgment you shall judge, you shall be judged. Mm-hmm. And with what measure ye meet, if you shall be measured to you again.
Mm-hmm. It should be measured to you again. It's good if you're sitting there trying to get on somebody because that's really going into hypocrisy. Mm-hmm. When you're trying to get on somebody for something, and that's one thing that's really bad. Because you give me Proverbs 18 and 19 real fast. That's really bad because you'll have brothers get on you for something, and you know damn well they're doing the same thing, bro. You know damn well you're doing the same thing. Then what's that gonna do? Offend somebody. And then once you start offending somebody, it's gonna be super hard to try to tell them anything. It's gonna be super hard trying to rebuild that friendship, because as soon as you offend them, it gets to a point where you're talking to a brick wall off your conversation. We've all been there, bro. Whether it be your women, whether it be friends, whether it be your family, that's what happens as soon as you start offending people, bro. Go ahead, get that.
I like this. This is Proverbs 18 and 19. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city.
It's hardly one than a strong city. Now, how do you take over a strong city, bro? You got to set up a militia or army or posse to go take over a city of people. Think about how tough that is to take over. It's possible because people have done it before. Even with Simeon and Levi, they did it. But yeah, man, that's a difficult task to do, right? That's a very difficult task to do. Now, they're saying it's harder to win over a brother after you offend him. It's a harder task to do that than to get a group of people to take over a city. What is that telling you? It's hard to reach your brother after you have offended him. That's why you can't just jump straight to the ass whooping like we said before. You have to try to go over there and talk to your brother. If you have something, if you have an ought with him and he's wrong, and you can go according to the scripture and show him you won a brother. And if you listen, you won a brother. But if you go there, see, oh, now you just 2/3. Oh, you ain't nothing. And you all this, you know this, and you all that. Then ain't nobody trying to listen to that, bro. No, especially in the truth. We all grown men. We all got stuff we got to deal with. So when you start offending people like that, they ain't gonna want to hear you. That's why it's best to try to come up, like even with us on the streets, we can't just immediately just jump to just getting on somebody. Oh, bro, where's your beard at, bro? Like you actually have to come with meekness and humility and be like, look, man, you're an Israelite. We got to do this, or God's gonna kill us. And they'll be like, oh, okay. So what I got to do? And then you go into all that. And if they don't listen to it, then hey, that's them. Well, I say if you don't listen to that, you're gonna die. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't want to have put a beard on your face or get fringes or do like all the other stuff contained in the law, you're going to die. I gave you your warning, and that's what we're supposed to do. That's restoring somebody, and that's Galatians chapter 6 in effect. You are spiritual because you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and you restore one who's under a fault in the spirit of meekness and kindness. That's what we got to do. But if they turn out to be a nigga, I mean, things gotta happen. But but that can't be your first thing you do, bro. Because you're gonna offend them and they ain't gonna try to hear you. Keep going. Wait, keep going. There's more.
Let's see, that was Proverbs.
That's Proverbs 18 and 19.
Proverbs 18 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bars of a castle.
Yeah, keep going.
A man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled.
Shall be what?
Filled.
So you'll gain much through your speech if you actually know how to talk to people. That's why certain people win more fish than others. That's why certain people have a hard time of fishing than others, because of the way they speak and the way they come across. Keep going.
Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Yeah.
And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
So if you love death, you're going to be somebody who's pouring out wickedness. But if you love life, you'll actually be somebody who's meek towards your brother and be a good listener and know how to deal with your brother. Because what condemns you? Your mouth. What saves you? Your mouth. Because it's a representation of your actions. That's actually in your heart, like how Yahweh said. Now go ahead and get this.
This is Sirach 32 and 7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee.
Wait, 32 and 7.
Sirach 32 and 7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee.
So do what?
Speak, young man, if there be need of thee. And
the issue with a lot of brothers is we come into this truth. We think because we cut Christians, we know everything. Brothers come in this truth, be in this truth for 4 months, and they start trying to cut people who've been in for 10 years, bro. You have no reason. Your mouth should be quiet amongst the elders. Your mouth should be quiet amongst people who know more than you, bro. Know when to speak. Know when to say something. Keep going. Hold up, before you keep going, it boils down to this. Niggas lack decorum. They didn't have decorum before they came to the truth, and they didn't take hold of the wisdom you get through Proverbs and the examples that were set through our forefathers to understand decorum. Like King David, he definitely understood decorum. And they don't get those, they don't internalize and embody those examples that they have, that they've set before us. So they still have that old bottle syndrome. They don't know how to use decorum in their speech and in their actions. That's why they make the Hebrew Israelites look bad sometimes by the way they acted and the way they portray themselves on social media. Keep going.
And yet scarcely when thou art twice asked, let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue.
Knoweth and does what?
And yet holdeth his tongue.
Yeah, because you know when to answer. You know when to speak. Keep going.
If thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them.
I'll give you a perfect example of that. If I'm around the elders, like even when Zabak came down, I'm not about to sit here and just try to make myself equal with him. Like I put in the amount of work that he did. Like I know the amount of precepts that he knows. I'm not gonna say be equal to this dude. I'm gonna sit up there and soak up all the wisdom he's coming out with, bro. Or whether it be chief or deacon and people who put in way more work than I have. I'm going to soak up wisdom because you got to know when to speak and you got to know when to really you got to know when to shut the hell up. Really, Jake don't know when to shut the hell up. Wait, hold up, keep going. Go to 10.
It says, and when ancient men are in place, use not many words.
Mm-hmm.
Before the thunder goeth lightning, and before a shamefaced man,
somebody knows when to speak,
shall go favor.
So go what?
Go favor.
Because they be like, that dude right there, he didn't say a whole lot, but I like that brother, bro. We all know somebody like that. They don't speak a whole lot, but you like that brother, man. Because when you do speak, you're gonna say something deep. We all know somebody like that, man. That's what Sirach, that's what the wisdom he's trying to teach you in Sirach. Knowing when to speak. Don't be a blabberer. Get your precept.
This is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 23.
Sirach 20 and 25. 3. Go ahead.
A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of the fools proclaim foolishness.
Saying what? Foolishness, bro. Going back. Say what you're saying?
I was about to say, and it all goes back, you know what I'm saying, to being prudent, like it said. And another word for prudent is wise, right? And it's Proverbs 4 and 7. Wisdom is a principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get an understanding. And Sirach chapter 9 and 10 says, let thy talk be with the wise, and all thy communication in the law of the Most High.
Communication to what?
In the law of the Most High.
And that's another thing Jake don't do, bro. They're coming to truth and not internalize the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why it's so easy for them to just lie on people. Like, you know, Exodus 23 and 1, thou shalt not raise up a false report. Jake does that every damn day on the internet. Like, that's one thing. That's probably one of the most broken precepts in the Hebrew Israelite community, bro. If you look on Facebook, they'll put a picture of whatever camp leader, whatever school, and just slap a lie on it, and Jake just share it and just be a part of it, bro. And that's also, I think, when you keep going in Exodus 23 all the way down, it talks about people taking part in that as well. You sit there sharing it and say, oh yeah, I knew they was wicked, didn't do no type of research. And the thing is, we're so disconnected from the Torah, we just continue to do that. We just share it and say, oh, I knew them niggas was off, but don't do no research. Don't ask nobody nothing. They just take, if they see something negative, they'll just go ahead and just go along with it. That's what Jake does. Raising up a false report and being somebody who perpetuates that wicked and false witness, which is also another transgression of the law. Our people don't keep the law, bro. That's why they don't understand. Give me Psalms real fast. Give me Psalms 111 verse 10. Lord in Christ, bro.
Psalms 111.
Yeah. Like, and the thing about it is, you have to read the book. It all boils down to that. You have to read the book and internalize the book. It talks about eating the whole roll. It was honey in your mouth, but when it hit your belly, it was bitter because you got to change. Our people don't do that. They don't eat the whole roll. They just read whatever scriptures they want to do and use the Bible as a feel-good book, just like how Christians do. We have to eat this whole roll and internalize it. And then we become a new man after that. Not the same old nigga who just knows a couple Hebrew words. Get that Psalms 111.
Psalms 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, a good understanding.
A good understanding, understanding things. That's also why Christians don't understand the Bible, because they don't keep the commandments. Go ahead.
Have all they that do his commandment.
All they that what?
Do his commandment.
Yeah.
His praise endureth forever.
His praise endureth forever. So we have to keep these commandments so we can have an understanding, really an understanding of the Bible just in general. You understand the things about Christ. You understand all the things that he said. You understand the things Paul was talking about when he goes specifically back to the law. A lot of Christians choke on that because they just skip over that and start in Matthew. And it's also why you have a lot of people out here easily transgressing the law because they don't internalize it. A lot of Israelites don't, they say, oh yeah, I keep the commandments, stuff like that. But you don't keep the commandments. You don't internalize the commandments. You wouldn't act the way you do if you kept the commandments. You wouldn't say the things you say if you would keep the commandments. Like that's the thing, bro. It starts like we talk about fixing what you say, but you got to fix that mind by actually reading the scriptures and internalizing it. And once you internalize the scriptures, then what you speak will be correct. That's how you keep your conversations honest amongst the Gentiles. If you stay in the book, seek Yahweh while he may be found. Just saying, man.
God, I got this.
But hold on. I'm saying one thing, bro. People being and like the thing about it is, you have brothers will spend all day in the gym and try to make their body right to get their body right, but they're not gonna do that with the scriptures to get their spirit right, bro. All these niggas trying to put all his weights on the bar, trying to bench press, but they can't bench press this, bro. You can't bench press this sword, bro. That's like SpongeBob. Remember that episode of SpongeBob where he put them teddy bears on the bar and he couldn't even lift it up? That's how them niggas are, bro. That's how their spirit is, because you don't internalize this book. You don't eat the whole roll. You niggas can't bench press this sword, bro. That's why you keep getting confounded. Negro onlys, OT onlys. That's why that happens to you. But go ahead and get your precept.
This is Luke 6 and 44. For every tree is known by his own fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. Mm-hmm. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good. Mm-hmm. And an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. Mm-hmm. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh.
Now abundance is what?
Of the heart his mouth speaking.
And that's how you know people really ain't changed, bro, and really ain't came into the truth, because of what they say. Wisdom is known in speech. Go ahead.
You know how people be saying, you don't know my heart, only God knows my heart. We know your heart by what you say.
By what you say. You would say God loves it. If you know the Bible, the people come up to camp, say know the Bible. I hate when they say this, bro. I read the whole Bible. You ain't read the whole Bible, bro. None of y'all niggas read it. Like, I hate y'all. You know you ain't read the whole. Why you come for lying? But if say I read the whole Bible, come out and you'll ask them, say, what about that part where Christ did a Hadouken? I was like, oh yeah, that's my favorite part. And like, yeah, I was like, see, I'm just like, come on, bro. Like, speech is known by what you say. I mean, wisdom is known by your speech. Mm-hmm. Hold that. Give me Proverbs. Sirach 20 real fast. Sirach 20 and 5 through 8. Good stuff. Give me Sirach 4 and 24.
This is Sirach 20 and 5. A thief is better than the man that is accustomed to lie.
20. That's 20 and 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 20 and 5.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Sirach 20 and 5. There's one that keepeth silence and is found wise.
Yeah. There's one that keepeth silence, keeps his damn mouth closed, and is found wise. Like, dang, he ain't saying nothing stupid. He probably knows something. That's Sirach 20 and 5. Sometimes you gotta shut up, bro. Just be quiet. You have some decorum, goddammit. And like, you notice, and you know what's funny about the scripture? The Christians, like our people will debate Christians, and they will have no decorum. Their mouth will keep going. They'll sit there and badmouth us and do all that while we're trying to have a debate. While you have Hebrew Israelites just be quiet, just let them just condemn their own self. That happened with Sam Shimon. We seen it, bro. He keeps running out trying to just shoot ad hominems at people. Like, y'all don't even keep this. Y'all Christians are the biggest hypocrites I've ever met, bro. They just run off the mouth and just don't even practice what they preach. Keep going.
It says, and another by much babbling.
By what?
Babbling,
bro. Nobody likes. Don't y'all know a nigga who just talk too goddamn much, bro? Y'all like, how do y'all feel about that dude? You don't run a nigga because they'll tell you a story. They'll trap you up in a story. And oh, here we go. I'm about to be here for 15 minutes, bro. got like 8 of them in my job, and I gotta be bobbing and weaving. Hey man, how'd you do this?
You gotta end the conversation like this. I got something to do, bro. I'll hit you back up.
Like you're on the phone.
Nobody on the phone. I was like, and nobody like that nigga, bro. Nobody likes niggas like that, bro. Keep going.
It says, and another by much babbling becometh hateful.
Become what?
Hateful.
Niggas hate this man, bro. Keep going.
Some man holdeth his tongue because he have not to answer.
Yeah.
And some keepeth silence, knowing his time.
So you got somebody who's just running off the mouth. Then you got somebody who doesn't like just be quiet because they don't know the answer. And then you got somebody what?
The
last one.
pretty much it says, and some keep it silence, knowing his time.
Knowing his time, knowing when to speak. You take your opportunity. Like just like somebody asks a question. Sometimes you don't gotta just be, oh, me. Just wait till it's your time, bro. Keep going. There's more.
Okay.
There's more.
It says a wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity.
Till he see opportunity. When it's the right time for you to speak. And don't Proverbs talk about a word spoken in the right time? Yeah. You can go and get that. Keep going.
And it says, but a babbler and a fool will regard no time.
Will regard no time. Won't give a damn what time. You'll go into a damn library and like niggas be run off the mouth, just be ratchet as hell in the damn library, bro. Niggas just, yeah, man, oh, man. Like it's all quiet here. People just trying to chill. We just go here and get some literature, probably something to help you out in the truth. Something, and the niggas just loud as hell in the damn library, bro. Just drawing so much attention to yourself, or just anytime niggas just be talking, bro. Just be quiet. There's a time for you to talk and a time for you to shut the hell up. It's all about decorum. Everything it's teaching you is decorum. Brothers don't know decorum. This is why we get in situations like this, man. I think this is that 8? Is that verse 8?
Verse 8. It says, he that useth many words shall be abhorred.
Shall be what?
Abhorred.
Hated. Somebody who uses a whole lot of words shall be hated. Nobody likes that babbler, bro. Nobody likes getting trapped up in a story for 15 minutes. I hate that. I hate when I have things, and that's when they find you. They find you when you got a whole lot of stuff to do, bro. Y'all never find me when I'm just on my off day just chilling. When I got a whole bunch of stuff to do, then they come out of the woodwork. Hey man, how's your weekend, bro? Let me tell you about stuff that happened in my weekend, bro. You know, and then you be there, you get there at 2, and you leave till 3:30. It's like, damn, bro. I was like, God, man, this nigga, bro. He's talking to him, and then he'll keep you. He's trying to leave. And he said, "But wait a minute, there's more." Damn, bro.
And he that taketh to himself authority, therein shall be hated.
And shall be hated. Because I mean, the main one. Oh, I'll take the lead. I got y'all. It's just the thing about it is decorum. Decorum. That's really. I think I'm gonna do a series on this. It's decorum. Like. Starting with integrity, right? Your integrity comes with what you say and how you present yourself. And this is what this lesson is about. How knowing when to talk, knowing how to present yourself, and knowing when to just shut the hell up, bro. People don't know how to do that. Keep going.
I had a verse in Ecclesiasticus 11.
Yeah.
And verse 7. You already got it?
Yeah, that's perfect.
It says, blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first and then rebuke.
Yeah.
Answer not before thou hast heard the cause. Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk.
Because you got babblers. You got people interrupting people in the midst of talk. Already ready. And you see that a lot at camp. When you're trying to deal with Jake, they're not listening. They're not listening to get understanding, listening to respond. Like they'll hear like first party sentences. Is it so God says, oh, well, God says this, that, and this. I'm just like, damn, my nigga, man. And they ain't gonna do that nowhere else. You're gonna do that to the judge.
Right.
Matter of fact, you gonna do that to the white man. White man start talking to you like this. Yes, master. Oh, yeah. That sounds good, man. But with Jake, you just gotta just interrupt you, just be an asshole, interrupt you in the midst of your speech, immediately start blaming you before they even seen the cause. Like, oh, so y'all just want to rape people. When have we ever said that? Like people say in the comment section, y'all just want to rape people and just beat up white people and that. I mean, when have we said that? When have we said that, bro? When have we said that? I'm just saying, bro.
Okay, you want this last verse?
Read 12 and 5 again. You give me Ecclesiastes, Sirach 4 and 24. Okay. 12
and 5.
That's it, 12?
Yeah.
20 and 5.
Sirach 20 and 5. Mm-hmm. There's one that keepeth silence and is found wise, and another by much babbling becometh hateful.
Mm-hmm.
Some man holdeth his tongue because he hath not to answer.
Yeah.
And some keepeth silence knowing his time.
Knowing his time, go ahead.
A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity.
So see opportunity to speak to what show his wisdom. To show we always got that brother who's quiet, but he real deep though. And he'll say something, but it's gonna be deep. He don't say a whole lot of things. You probably hear one paragraph out of him a year, But that one sentence, that one little nugget he give you gonna be deep, bro. He gonna show you how wise he is. Now give me that Sirach. And we can end it off there.
Okay, it's Sirach chapter 4 and 24. He says, "For by speech wisdom shall be known."
By what?
Speech wisdom shall be known.
By speech, wisdom shall be known. People gonna know how smart you are by the way you talk. And because even with me, like sometimes I'll be at work and I'll use big words in front of Esau and Jake. They'll be like, "Oh man, you speak white." I'm just like, Lord in Christ. I mean, I just pay attention in vocabulary class, man. You know, just. But that's how they do, bro. Or they'll be like, they know I deal with the Bible because I'll say something like, "No, I don't do that because of this verse," and I'll just quote the verse. They know you by your fruit, like Yahweh said, and what comes out of you. Your wisdom is known by speech and what you say and how you present yourself. Go ahead.
It says, "And learning by the word of the tongue."
We're learning by the word of the tongue. You know, a learned man by what he speaks. How he operates and how he deals with people. But with that, that's pretty much the gist of it. Because the thing about it is, we got to work on our decorum as a people. We got to work on how we talk to each other in the truth, and how we how we address each other as a nation, man. And with that, I want to say, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, and say Shalom.
Shalom.
Man, y'all be having like goddamn 25
Hold on.